A threat against LA schools, today on The World. I'm Carol Hills. Los Angeles schools were closed following an emailed threat. This student says her non-English speaking parents were confused.
They're not going to know what to do because they don't know in what ways to help.
Plus, Marco Werman and our team in Kenya with stories about women doing business there and the challenges they face.
I think we're our own worst enemies, where if you have stuff you're doing, your own friends or family would be the last guys to buy.
And a crisis manual for Muslim American women.
It's reached the level where it's survival now. We have Muslim American women that were born and raised in the United States that feel uncomfortable walking down the street of their hometowns.
Those stories ahead on The World. We begin, though, in Los Angeles, where more than 500,000 students did not go to school today. The LA Unified School District was shut down because of a threat officials said arrived via email.
Somebody has sent information that leads us to pause and make sure that we are safe, that our children and our staff are safe.
That's Ramon Cortinez, the school superintendent in Los Angeles. The threat raised fears of another mass shooting like the one in nearby San Bernardino 2 weeks ago. And that's left many in the region feeling jittery. Saul Gonzalez of station KCRW has been to 2 different LA schools today. He says the school evacuations were remarkably efficient.
By the time I got to the schools, I got there about a half hour, 45 minutes after word first came out. The schools were largely emptied out. The one was a small elementary school. The other one, Venice High School, a very, very large, typical urban campus here in Los Angeles. And 99.9% of the students were already gone.
So the threat came in after students had already arrived at school?
They had just arrived or were still arriving. At the high school, I talked to students who said, they heard about it on the way to school. Some of them started getting text messages and phone calls from their parents saying, don't go to school today, turn around, come right home. So a lot of them never even got to campus in the first place. Those who did get to campus, they were greeted by their principals or teachers at the school and told, no, there are no classes today.
How is the LA school district different from others?
This is a school district really of immigrants. I mean, a lot of the students are immigrants. Certainly a lot of the parents are immigrants. So, this is not, the LA Unified School District is not necessarily your typical parent is, soccer mom and dad driving a Volvo SUV. I mean, these are a lot of very hardworking people who work in the restaurant sector or work in local factories. That was one big challenge today is that, it's harder for them to get off work simply because they don't have the kind of jobs where they could just go ask the boss, hey, I have to leave for an hour or two to retrieve my child. So it's also a district where, because it's so immigrant heavy, a lot of the parents, even on the best of days, may not really fully understand what's happening in the schools. So you throw something like this at them, hey, we're going to have a mass evacuation, please get your child as quickly as possible. It's a real challenge for a lot of parents, and a lot of them are relying on public transportation.
I'm assuming a lot of immigrant parents may not speak English, which brings me to this clip you provided us from Venice High School. It's from a senior you spoke with today named Leslie Ramirez. I know Venice is on the west side of LA. Here she is describing her experience getting to school.
None of the school buses came, so I decided to come in the metro. And I was thinking, I'm going to be late to school today, and I have finals. And when I arrive, the whole school is empty.
Leslie Ramirez's parents are Spanish speakers. They had to retrieve 3 kids in different parts of LA. So this has been quite an ordeal for parents, hasn't it?
Yes, exactly. And, particularly in light of just what happened 2 weeks ago. I mean, here we had the worst terrorist attack since 9/11. That's fresh in people's memories with the tragic shootings of, a couple of weeks back, and not so far from Los Angeles. So, and now this happens. It's already a region on edge because of that. And I think right now, there's already conversation starting to happen as to, whether or not this was necessary to evacuate all the schools, to close all the schools for the day. But I think a lot of people, frankly, are saying, yeah, right on, do that. Do whatever you think you have to do to keep our kids safe because, it's been a crazy last few weeks, both in this country and around the world.
Saul Gonzalez is a reporter with KCRW in Santa Monica. Thanks, Saul.
Hey, thank you so much.
A lot of people across the country are on edge right now, including many Muslim Americans who feel unfairly scrutinized because of their faith, which is why the website muslimgirl.net has just published a crisis safety manual for Muslim women. The site is geared to help empower Muslim